I wanted to come on here today to talk about the differences between revolvers and semi-autos when it comes to self-defense. Now, there are a lot of conversations that have happened over the years when it comes to capacity, when it comes to reliability, and so on. But we need to consider several things when we're talking about concealed carry of a firearm, and there's a lot of things that play into it. And one of the things that really needs to be thought about, especially in this day and age, is in the case of an attack, what are we seeing as far as number of attackers? I know there's a lot of folks out there that will prefer a revolver for concealed carry. I know they're still a very popular item. There are some folks that will carry a revolver as backup. There's a lot of, I guess you could say, reasons, multiple reasons for one or the other. And I wanted to talk about my thoughts in this video, but I want you guys to debate it out in the comments down below. My thoughts on carrying either a revolver or a semi-auto is this. My preference is a semi-automatic for some very good reasons. Number one, if we look into what's happening in this day and age, especially where we are seeing people stopped in some of the places, some of these cities and things like that, it's not a question of whether or not you need 5 or 6 rounds. The thing is, if there are multiple attackers, which is exactly what we're seeing in some of these cases, you're going to need everything that you have. And if you're limiting yourself to 5 or 6 rounds with just a revolver, which again there guys, it is a personal choice. A lot of it depends on where you live, the type of things that go on where you live, and so on. You know, it's better to have a 38 revolver snubby tucked away somewhere than to have nothing. And the reality is, guys, if you are in a situation where you're going to need more than 6 shots, if you have multiple attackers, you're going to need to be able to reload that gun. And that's another aspect of it, is that a revolver is slower on reloads compared to a semi-auto. But at the same time, if you have an ammunition issue with a revolver compared to a semi-auto, with a semi-auto, you've got to be able to clear that problem. Okay, that's something that folks don't practice enough of in many cases. They think that they'll never need that situation like that, and they never really practice what they would do if they had a malfunction. And I've talked about it before in other videos. It's a good idea to practice malfunction drills. You need to know how to get that gun back in the fight if anything ever happens. With a revolver, all you do is keep pressing that trigger. Now, if you look at the studies, you look at the numbers out there, the overwhelming majority of incidents, it's on average, I guess you could say, is 2 to 3 shots. In self-defense situations, it's usually 2 to 3 shots as far as what's fired in most self-defense cases. However, there are a lot of outliers to where it is greater than that. I know there's a lot of statistics out there. In fact, I'm going to put some up on screen just to kind of show you what you would see in a situation like that. There are times to where you could need much more than 2 or 3 shots to stop an attack, depending on whether or not it's someone that's hyped up on drugs, depending on if it's multiple attackers, and so on. So again, that is why my preference personally is a semi-auto. Again, that's purely my preference, and it's not just going to be any semi-auto. It's going to be one that I know that is reliable, that I have put in the time, the reps, the training with, to where I know that gun is going to function when I need it to. Previously, I had talked about why I preferred iron sights over red dots, and I'll leave a card of that video up here to where you guys can go and check it out, because I think there's some important points there as well that you need to think about. But guys, these are just a few of my thoughts. I would like to know your thoughts down below. Again, I would prefer semi-auto. I know there's guys out there that prefer revolvers. I know there's kind of a resurgence in revolvers. And again, guys, whatever you carry, you need to train with it. You need to be comfortable with that gun. You need to be proficient with that gun. Your goal is to get out of the situation, protect yourself, get yourself and your family away from it. And in the event of anything ever happening, guys, I would strongly suggest that you join Attorneys on Retainer. They are a team of lawyers that could help you protect yourself in the legal fight that could follow a self-defense fight, guys. Check out the link down below in the description of this video. But guys, let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Check out all the links down below. Share the video, and we'll see you next time.